Good morning.
Good morning. How are you? Today's Daf Tes, brand new Mishnah, brand new Masechta. For anybody that just woke up and doesn't realize that we're in Masechta's Temurah. You got it? Oh, okay, great. If this is your first time here, it's a brand new sugya, brand new everything. And it's a real kachim today. Says the Mishnah. He's gone. Today's real sugya starts on Amud Beis, really. We start off a little light, and we're going to get a little heavier on Amud Beis. It's a small sugya that extends the whole Amud Beis. And I'll explain. Says the Mishnah, Ma'amirim minatzoin ala bakar. Hilchos Temurah. You could do Temurah from sheep and goats to larger animals, to cows. U'min bakar ala tzoin, and vice versa. U'min akvosim ala izim. What? Avada. Mamir means the Temurah works. So I could take the chiddush would be, even let's say I have a designated animal that's a chatos that needs a sheep and not a cow, and I say this cow should be instead of the sheep, it's still Temurah, even though in theory it doesn't really work. I can't bring a cow as a chatos.
What do you do with it? Bring it as a chatos?
No.
What are you going to do with that cow?
Why can't you shecht it as this? So what do you do? Why? I don't know. Well, you're not being makrivid as your chatas, your personal chatas for an aver you did, because that the first one is. I'm saying every temurah, when you have two animals that are kodesh, the second one is not a chatas. Oh, you're asking in general, ani chatos, no. But what about a chatas, a sheep and a sheep that you understand? The second one, that's a sheep, instead of first. Also a problem, okay. Okay. I mean, you're not bringing the second one as a chatos, because you didn't do an avera for the second, you know.
But you get malchus.
I say it goes on the mizbeach.
As what?
As a carbon, but I don't know, not as specific chatos. I don't know. Maybe ketzim mizbeach. I don't think it's just yirat shistav thing. All right, something we need to look into. Milakvosim ala izim, you could go from sheep to goats. Minazim ala kvosim, minaschorim ala nekevos, minakevos ala schorim, males to females, minatmim al bali mumim. Oh, it gets more interesting from a tamim on a balmum, min bali mumim al tmimim. So if you have a balmum as a designated hegdish, and you take a perfectly good animal, you say, I want to do Temurah, I'm doing a good thing, I'm taking the balmum out. You didn't say it in the right way, you did it as Temurah, you're over alav. Shenemar lo yachlifenu v'lo yomer oisoy toiv b'ra oira b'toiv. So, ve'ez toiv b'ra, balimumim shekodem ekdeshim is mumum. When the Torah says ra, it doesn't mean an ugly one, it means a balmum. And the Torah says you can't replace a balmum with a good one through Temurah. What does it mean? How do you get a balmum in Hegdish? The Mishnah describes it. It has to be done. The mum happened after you made it Hegdish. Because otherwise, if you have a balmum that you make Hegdish, if the mum came before the Hegdish, then the Temurah, there's no tfisa for Temurah. There's no kedusha on that animal enough to give Temurah, to do Temurah on it. Minani mila Torah bonon behema bebehema.
Do you fulfill your obligation?
This whole Mishnah.
Do you fulfill your obligation in chatas?
What? No. You anyways have to bring a brand new animal because the animal you designated was a balmum to begin with, so of course it's no good.
In the other cases.
If you do Temurah?
Yeah.
Temurah, you don't exchange. They both are kaddish. So you have to bring the first one anyways. Second one, you did. Anyways, in this long pasuk of. Okay. It's you mean these are the basic halachas of Temurah?
Can't change anything if you're changing in malchus.
Okay.
It's not most of Shas. You get the Ikka Mishnah.
Maybe Taisa talks about it. That's a Taisa kasha. Okay. Anyway, so I don't know if this is a good idea. But in the pasuk it says behema bebehema. Yeah? Behema bebehema. What? What are you looking? Taisus does this? No way. Are you sure?
The asker, he just states it.
I don't know. Okay, anyways, but in the pasuk it says the word behema. Behema mikan shemamiri min atzoyin al abokar umin abokar al atzoyin min akvosim al izim min izim al akvosim al eschom al akevim min akevim al schorim umin ba'al mum al tmim umin tmim al ba'al mum. This is the whole mission that we read word for word. Yochal afilu kodam mum le'ekdeshon. What happens if the mum comes first and then you were magdish it? Tamar loymar lo yachli feno v'lo yemoisui toiv b'ra or ra b'toiv. Ve'ez toiv b'ra ba'al mumin shekodam ekdeshim is mum. My Talmudah, where do we see that in the pasuk that it has to be mum shekodam ekdeshim is mum? Omar ba'inei makro lo yachli feno v'lo yemoisui toiv b'ra or ra boy. Why is the Torah? Now we're gonna have a machlokes Rav and Abaya. Which word here is extra? They both agree that this word b'toiv is extra. The question is if the first toiv is extra. It could say lo yomaisoi toiv b'ra or ra boy. You can't do good with a balmum and not a balmum with it. Why do you have to say b'toiv? That is for sure extra, that word. Or ra b'toiv, because we're already talking about the hegdish. So you can't be machlif the bad hegdish with good, or good with it.
I don't know why it's really an extra, because you have to have a word here.
It's 2 extra letters.
You put bow.
It's 2 extra letters.
2 extra letters. Very
You
good.
say boy, you think Rab boy. Rab with Ra.
Huh?
You say Rab boy, you think Ra with Ra. No Rab with Ra.
No, but you have 2 times the toiv. So why do you need both the toiv?
Yeah.
1 should be enough.
Fine.
Lo yomer say toiv bira. You're taking good, you're exchanging it with a balmum hegdish. Or ra, or you take a ra in what we already discussed, boy, in the same case, bira. Toiv achrina lamali. Hold on, let me just see if it's ra be. It could be the question is even stronger. You don't need it to be good. We already said that you can't exchange a good one for a bad one, so then you can't exchange a bad one for a bad one. So you don't have to come on to Toiv. Toiv is even worse. Toiv makes it worse. I said the first halacha is I can't take a really good animal and do what you need to do really. You have a bad animal, your hegdish is bad. Your hegdish is bad, so I want to exchange it with a good one. What's wrong with that? The Torah says you can't do that. So what's the next case? That you can exchange a bad animal for a really good animal. Okay, that's like that's all the kavachaymer. So it makes more sense to say you can't exchange ra b'ra.
Why didn't you say Ra with anything? Doesn't matter.
Yeah, ra with anything. I'm saying you don't need toiv. Toiv is like too much even.
Why did you say Lo yachafen, Lo yamer, the toiv b'ra?
That's what the Bayis says in a second. Rav. Shma mino toiv mi kara oisei Temurah. So from the word toiv, since it's extra, I learned this concept that it has to be good when you were magdish it, and then later on it became a balmum. Shma mino toiv mi kara oisei Temurah. Rami kara ein oisei Temurah. But if you designated an animal that's a balmum, and you try to do Temurah to it, that's not going to work. Rav Omar Tavayu Toiv Yatur Miyatri. These 2 red guys are both extra. That's what you were saying. Imkei nichtoiv kro lo yachlifenu v'lo yomer oisoi b'ra or raboy.
That's also the Oira.
What does it mean that it doesn't catch?
So you're saying you just want all these words are extra. We don't have any. We don't. What? Lo yomer.
You'll know exactly what we're talking about.
Okay.
What does it mean that
You're
it
gonna
doesn't
have a chance
catch?
to.
What does it mean that it doesn't catch? It's not going to be Temurah.
No. Nothing. Because it's not. It doesn't have enough kedusha.
You're not going to get Malchus and you're not going to get...
You have to bring it right. No, there's no malchus, no, and the second one doesn't have kedusha. What happened? You have to bring oil.
It's even better for you.
It's better because you didn't do anything. If I made that wall my carbon and then I try to do Temurah on it, is it going to work? No. I took an animal and I said this animal that has no leg should be my oila. So I said nothing. It was not nothing, but it doesn't have enough kedusha that this animal without a leg. Then I say, okay, you know what? No, sorry, I made a mistake. Let me take a really good animal and make it temurah to this animal that has no leg. But the animal had no leg. I had no right to be magdish. Says the Gemara, the only way it works is if I had an animal with 4 legs, and I was magdish it. Then somebody chopped off its leg. But it already has kedusha the animal, because when I was magdish it had 4 legs. Today doesn't have a leg. The kedusha didn't go anywhere. Then I went and I made temurah to that animal, so it works. That does work. Zok the Gemara. So why do I need? Why do I need 2 toivs? Chad toiv afilu toiv, meaning what's a toiv? An animal without a mum, a tam. B'toiv nami kimei merlaki. Even if you take a good for a good, you didn't do anything. A good animal that has no mum for another good animal that has no mum, you get malchus. V'idach toiv. And why do I need the second toiv? Mikara isitmura. That's the first halach that Rabbi said. Rami kare eno isitmura. V'Abai Omar. Abai is just arguing whether I need 2 toivs to learn this. Abai Omar kavachoymeru. Uma toiv. Bira. If I take a chulin that's good, and I try to upgrade my bad carbon, it has a mum, it's a ra. I try to do something good, positive. I'm taking a toiv chulin and making it temurah for the ra. I'm trying to upgrade it, lucky, and for that I get malchus. Toiv b'toiv. Like kolchkin the lucky. Certainly, if I didn't accomplish anything, I just did temurah with nothing happened there. I just did a good for a good. Of course, I get malchus. Virava in oinchim min adin. Yeah, you're right. It's very logical what you're saying, but at the end of the day, you're trying to get this guy malchus based on a kavachomer. You can't do it, even though the kavachomer makes a lot of sense. You said
I have a good animal over here, and I want to.
Time out here. I have a picture. In the picture, it'll make sense. This is your carbon. What? Oh, very good. I should have brought my dog. You see, I wasn't thinking this morning. My whoever Nebuch just Reuven saw with his own eyes. Our dog. We have a dog. It's a therapy dog. It's a little dog we got for our bacher. No, for those who are new here, it's not stam that we have a dog. The Shiva forced me to get a dog. I'm not joking. Go speak to him, Rav Sussman. Anyways, the dog looks something like this animal right here. It's a very hairy dog. He used to look like this. He's literally 1 foot long, and he looked like he weighed 45 pounds, but it was all hair. And he jumped in a bush, and he got all these thorns all over him, and it closed his eyes and his mouth, so they shaved him completely. He looks like this, literally. He looks like a rat today. This would have been a perfect picture. This is exactly what he looks like today. Anyways.
And now the dog needs therapy.
He doesn't chop. He didn't see himself yet in the mirror. But he does know. He did come home and he started chasing his tail. He didn't chop what it was. Until now his tail had fur, and I was like, what is this thing? So he's going through that thing again. Okay. Mendy, this is for you. The guy has this as a carbon. And if he says, you know what, this is terrible. How could I bring this to the Beis Hamikdash? This is mamash b'zayin. So he says, I'm going to do temurah. I'm going to take this number 2 guy and be machlef it for him. Temurah. He gets malchus. He's upgrading. He's doing a very good thing. So if he gets malchus for doing this, what if this guy looked like him and he did temurah? Of course he gets malchus. You're not allowed to do temurah. The Torah says don't do temurah. So if he didn't accomplish anything, of course he should get malchus. Says Rava, it's a beautiful svar what you're saying, but einon shemin. At the end of the day, I can't give a guy malchus because you have a kavachomer. Says Abaye, no. V'Abaye omaloch holav dinu. I'm not saying a kavachomer. I'm explaining a word. I'm explaining what the Torah means here. The Torah doesn't mean dafka this case. The Torah meant an animal for another animal. Even the Torah is giving you an example, not a specific case. Dafka this case, because it makes no sense, says Abaye. Because it makes so little sense that this is the only case that could be temurah, you get malchus, but if they were equal, so obviously the Torah didn't mean it as a specific case, the Torah meant it as an example. Why would somebody do temurah typically? Because he wants to upgrade. But it's not a kavachomer. Abaye is not coming b'Torah's like kavachomer, Abaye is coming b'Torah's hesber. Holavdinu migora Temurah. It's not worse. It's not. I'm not telling you. I'm just explaining the word. The word Rabbi Toiv. When the Torah says lo yachlifenu, it means any kind of chilifin. If it's worse, better. A typical case would be that I want to upgrade. I'm a good Jew. I want to get rid of my bad animal. I found a better animal. I want to do that.
Not every Kavachomer?
No. Because they're different cases. Those are different cases. This is the same case. They're the same animal. Look, one has fur, one doesn't have. It's the same. Torah Baron. Lo yachlifenu b'shalach cherem. The word, look, and the Torah says, look what it says here. Lo yachlifenu v'lo yomer. What are those two words? So the word lo yachlifenu typically, who do you do chilufin with? With your friend. I trade. It's a trade. You don't trade with yourself, right? Nobody ever trades with themselves. They go to a friend. Here's this animal, and you give me in return that. So Chalifin says the Gemara yachlifenu b'shalach cherem. I can't do it with my friend's animal. And in a second, we're going to see what that means. What does my friend have? Does my friend have a kadosh, or does my friend have a chulin? Now, the word yomer could fit into myself. With my own animals, I'm upgrading one animal to another animal. Says the Gemara, no, if I can't do it with my friend, say one case. Why do I need both cases? Because of I could do a trade where one goes in and one goes out, and then you get malchus. But over here, I'm designating an additional animal. I'm not trying to undo the first and just put a second one instead of the first one. I want both of them to be kadosh. Ema loy lucky. Maybe you shouldn't get malchus in that case. Kamash malon, you get malchus in both cases. Now the Gemara just goes into hay b'shel acher meichidami. What's his case? What does the other guy have? You designated a carbon, very good. Now what do you want to do? You want to take your friend's carbon. You don't know the guy. You saw a nice animal walking down the street. That animal should be kadosh instead of my animal.
That rush of Yomer that you just said now was less focused on somebody else versus my own. It was more focused on whether I want to swap them or do both of them.
Right. Yeah.
Nothing to do with the fact
Right.
whether it's
Yeah.
So the other animal that he sees on the other side of the fence is not Hektish in this thing.
No. The other animal is a chulin animal.
It's not his.
It's not his. That's what the Gemara asks. Who are you to say that animal is hektish? Obviously, the Gemara is just going through the steps here. Mimotzi magdish. Ishki yagdish is basically kodesh l'Hashem. Omer achmona. Ma basically b'shuso. It has to be something you own. Avkol b'shuso. You can't designate somebody else's animal. Velo, obviously. Behema de hektish to alma. V'chulin didei. And the Gemara is actually going to end up with that. The other animal's kodesh. You want to make your animal kodesh just like that. Okay. Still a problem. Mimatvis b'davar she'ein shaloi. You don't have a right to grab kedusha from over there, from across the street, and put it into your animal. Says the Gemara, yes, it's the other guy's animal's hegdish. You could grab kedusha from there. Why? Because the owner said, he opened the gates for everybody. He allows people to come in and grab kedusha from his animal, whatever that means. So Mela, he said whoever wants to be Magdish, he took the opportunity. He's Magdish his own animal based on that.
They both contribute to it.
No, because he's doing it on his own animal. He's using his animal as the kedusha. He's just using that as an example. He's not using.
He couldn't have done that if the other person,
right.
the owner hadn't said.
And what did he take from that other animal? He didn't take anything. He didn't lessen the kedusha of the other animal.
No, but he couldn't have done his action. If
You're right.
It's like two people doing an Avera and Shabbos together.
Why?
Because one without the other has no effect.
Wait a minute. Time out. If it was his animal, if his animal was kadosh, and he used his animal as the example to transfer the kedusha from here to there, to the second animal, why is that not Shnaim Shasu on the first animal?
He's one guy. He's the one who's doing both.
But he's using his animal for two things.
Okay. Not two things. He's one person doing the Avera.
Right.
Here, where this.
Oh, no, the other guy didn't do Naver at all.
Yes, he said anybody can come do Temurah on my animal.
But he's not part of it. He's not going to get Malchus. He just allows somebody to use the Kedusha from his animal, but he doesn't get Malchus. He didn't do Temurah. He says, whoever wants to grab it, could grab it. Yes. Yeah, of course. We're talking about Rishayim over here. We're talking about the whole Temurah is a Issa Deraisa. He wants to do it. We're talking about the guy that wants to be over Yisurim. How could it be over? Says the Mishnah. Okay, we're still doing okay because we need more time on Amud Beis. Today's Amud Beis is a Yotzim and a Klal Levol. Shas, Amud Beis is harder than Amud Aleph. It's one of the only times in Shas. Says the Mishnah, Mamirin Echad B'Shnayim. You can take one chulin and say that this chulin should be a Temurah for 2 kachim. On the spot. 2 equals 1 chulin. Yes. Now, the next case, you get 80. Ushnayim be'echad. These 2 chulin animals that are not kadosh should be instead of 1 oila, let's say. Now, those 2 on the spot simultaneously become 2 oilos, 2 kachim, 2 temurahs, and because you did it on 2 separate animals, you get 2. It's a big chiddush to me. Echad b'meya, umeya be'echad, doesn't matter. 2, 100, you get 100 malchus. Reb Shimon Oimer, ein mamirin elo echad be'echad. Says Reb Shimon, no, it only works 1 to 1, not 1 to 2, 2 to 1. Shnemar, v'haya hu usmaras hakodesh. Remember this drasha, the word hu. Reb Shimon in the Mishnah says, v'haya hu usmaras hakodesh. Yeah, kodesh. Only 1, a singular. Mahu miyuchad, afi miyuchedes, or whatever the girsa here is. Minani mili. The Torah Rabbanim behema bebehema. Again, we're going to use this drasha. Behema behema says twice in the pasuk, one after another. Behema bebehema. Mekan shemamirim echad b'shnayim u'shnayim be'echad echad b'meyo meyo be'echad. So from this I learn behema bebehema, because it says behema. What's the problem? If you just look at the Gemara, it says behema, which seems like singular. And the Gemara is learning I could do even plural, even 2. Okay, we're going to see in a second. Shimon Oimer. It says it's singular. We find in the Torah and the Navi that when the Torah says behema, it means many animals. Fine. What? Oh, that's what the Gemara is going to say.
The plural of sheep is sheep.
Behema Rabba. By the way, does anybody know what the gematria of behema is? Kelev. And does anybody know what the gematria of Kelev is? Eliyahu. Stam, you should just know. Behema is 52, Eliyahu is 52, and the dog is 52. And then there's something called the Behema Rabba. Reb Shimon Behema Rabba Ikri. What? There's a größer Hund, a größer Behema. Amrulai, Matzino Behema Shekruya Behema. Shenemar Behema Rabba. Reb Shimon Behema Rabba Ikri, Behema Stam, Lo Ikri. That's Noam's point, that if it says right afterwards, Behema Rabba, so I could say a lot of animals. But the word Behema by itself means 1. So in the pasuk, when it says behema behema, it means 1 animal for another animal, not 1 animal for many animals. Ask the Gemara, "V'tayim the Rishim Mishum behema hu? V'tayim the Rishim Mishum hu?" If you look in the Mishnah, it says that he's learning out from the word hu. Ma'o miyuchad av Temurah, Temurah miyuchades. Says the Gemara, "Mi kara amar lehen Reb Shimon min v'hoya hu smurasoi." Yeah, first he said his drasha from who, like the Mishnah says. But when Rabbanan jumped in and said their drasha, it's even stronger. It's better. I have another from Gufa, from where you're learning that behema means plural. No, I'm going to tell you behema means singular, and it's adrabah. I make more sense. Now I have 2 rayas. Omer Shlokish. Now we just said that what? What does it say in the Mishnah? That you can't take, according to Reb Shimon at least, you can't take 2 animals and make them Temurah on 1 animal. It doesn't work. Even if you do simultaneously, 1 to 2, it doesn't work. You can only do Temurah 1 to 1, not 1 to 2. Moide Reb Shimon shemamirin v'choizrin umamirin. Says Rish Lakish, Machlokes Reb Yochanan Rish Lakish here. Rish Lakish says that if I have one animal that's a oila, and I took another animal and I said it should be a Temurah to the oila, so that first animal becomes Temurah. A minute later, I take another animal out of my pen and I said the same oila that I did Temurah for. In other words, it could be the subject of Temurah over and over and over. It just can't be the subject of Temurah simultaneously. You can't do two in one shot, one after another, because as he explains, my taima, my oila remains a oila. It never transferred into the second animal. So memela, it could continue giving Temurah, it could continue giving kedusha over and over and over. It just can't do it in one shot because it says in the pasuk who. Fine.
Can't do it. The second one should be onto the third one. And then
That's the sugi now. A little bit. Rabbi Yochanan Omar, between you and Noam, we just have the whole sugya going on here, the future sugya. Rabbi Yochanan Omar, and sometimes you also. No, that guy. What's his name? He's not here today. You know what I'm talking about? He really, whatever. From Yesh. Says the Gemara, Rabbi Yochanan Omar, Keshem sheim amirim shnayim be'echod, kenim amirim v'choizim amirim. Says Rabbi Yochanan, no, you can't do it. Each animal has one shot. You can do Temurah once. You can't do Temurah more than once on the actual animal, on the subject of the Temurah, not the Temurah. Tani kavasi Rabbi Yochanan, Tani kavasi Rish Lakish. You hardly ever find such a beautiful raya to Tanoim, Tamurahim. Tani kavasi Rabbi Yochanan keshem sheim amirim echad b'shnayim. Just like you can't mamish word for word their machlokes. Keshem sheim amirim echad b'shnayim. Just like you can't take one animal and do two Temurahs to it, kach im amirim v'choizim im amirim. It says mefurish, you cannot do one after another, just like Rabbi Yochanan says. I would think that you, just like he said, you can't do two for one, so you can't do one after another. You could continue, you could use it as a subject over and over. Rabbi said, here's the sugya. We make it very, very simple.
Maybe we could explain that first right to Rabbi Yochanan as a raya to Rabbi Yochanan and saying in Memir and Chazir Memir and talking about the second Behema. In Memir and Chazir Memir, that second one can't do, but the first one can do.
Oh, you mean like the Gemara is going to ask now? Let's see. It goes like this. Let me just set it up a little like a basic overview, then a more of an overview. Okay, well, no, let's do the overview first. We have a case. This case, here are the three pictures. Here's picture one animal. Here's a picture, there's two animals and three animals. Okay, what's going on here? There's a black sheep. Now I threw that in. Here's a case where you have one animal, but this animal had two names to it. It started off as a asham, as you see in the beginning, asham, and it ended up as a oila. How? We're going to get into it. But you have a situation where an animal gets lost, a asham gets lost, and you find him, he turns into oila. Can you do, if you hold like Rabbi Yochanan? Rabbi Yochanan says, one animal could only do Temurah once. I could use that animal one time, that's it. But what if that animal turned into an oila? Maybe he's a new animal now. Maybe I could do Temurah again. Before I did Temurah on the asham of him. Now I want to do to the oila part of him. Question number one. That question we're going to have 4 times in 4 different ways. We're going to have a Lishon Achrina as usual in Temurah, and then the Yerushalmi, and then we're going to switch it and say a slightly different case, but it's 4 times. Here's another question. Similar question. I have 2 animals, and they're both ashams, but the second animal got its asham from the first asham. I did a pidyon. I turned the second animal, a good, legitimate pidyon. I redeemed it like la halacha, and I made him into asham. This guy got a mum. I had to halachically get rid of him and switch him out, and I did it Kafi halacha, and he's an Asham. But how did he get his Kedusha? He got his Kedusha name, Asham, from number 1. Now, Rabbi Yochanan says I could only do Temurah once on number 1. What about number 2? He's a new animal. He's a new guf. He has one name, he's one carbon, Asham and Asham, but he's a second body. Maybe a second body, Rabbi Yochanan would admit, I get one more freebie, one more Temurah. I could be over and get another Malchus. Because it's a different body.
Secondary Shabbos.
Then the Gemara has a Shaila that combines the two things together. I have 2 bodies, and the second body is the Oilan Shlamim. He started off as the replacement for number 1, then he got lost and found, and therefore he's a Noila today. So now he's so far removed from number 1, because he's another body, and he's even another name. His name is Oila today. So what happens is that the Gemara is going to start off asking this question, and then Abaye says, wait a minute, why don't you just break it down and make it more simple? Why are you asking a question, 2 bodies and 2 names? Just ask me this question. Why are you asking me such a strong kasha? That's it. And then we're going to have, instead of a guy making Temurah, a guy has to do a chaymesh. It's the same exact questions over. The whole sugya, the whole amid is basically a reputation of what we just said. So now that you know that, we could really go home now, but we'll just read it inside to be yaitza the daf. Boy Revavin, and to stay true to the daily. We only have 13 minutes to do this daf. Amid. Boy Revavin l'divrei oimer ein mamirim v'chayzer mamir. According to Rabbi Yochanan, who says you could only do Temurah once per animal. Hifrish Asham Liskaper boy. You see, there's 4 steps in number 1. In animal number 1, 4 things happened. He made it into a Asham. Then he was a bad boy. He did Temurah. According to Rabbi Yochanan, he's done with Temurah. He can't do Temurah again. Then this guy got a mum. He broke his leg. So what did he do? He's paid it. This guy became instead of him. Now this guy got lost. This whole complicated case. And that's why Abaye says, why you give me a complicated case? He got lost. And so they got the black sheep. And then the black sheep took care of his Aveira, Kapara. All of a sudden they find number 2. So what does number 2 become? A Noila. So now number 2 has 2 problems. First of all, he's not number 1, he's number 2, he's a second animal. And also he's not even Asham anymore, he's a Oila. Can you do Temurah to number 2? From number 2. If number 2 be a subject of Oila? Could I point at number 2 and say, this chulin animal is going to be instead of number 2? I already did Temurah to number 1, so according to Rabbi Yochanan, I can't do Temurah on number 1 anymore. But number 2 is its own animal. It's its own carbon. It's Oila. It's not an Asham. It's a fat guy. Levi likes this Maisa. Okay, fine. What? Is it? Try to read it inside. Then you'll see it's not. It's a little. What? No. I don't even have a picture of the first Temurah. I have it in writing. Step number 2 is Temurah. I don't have room for more sheep here. He's not on there. He's not important for our discussion. So he made a number 2. And then over here you have to interject a couple of words just to understand what V'niskaper b'asha means. V'niskaper b'asha means that the second one got lost. So that's why I had to come onto a black sheep. Asha macher means a third one. V'nitak lo'ila, now I have to stick in some words and explain that I found number 2. So number 2 became an oila. All these things, you have to be a genius to understand them. That's why you have Rashi, and it flows. He reads. Niskaper ba'asham, v'nitak lo'oilahu. It's all different sheep talking about here. V'nitak lo'ila means number 2 became an oila.
You have to fill in the pronouns.
Yes. Mao, fill it in with a pencil. Mao shiyamer boy. Who's boy? Can I do Temurah on number 2? Very good. Amar Abaya. Michael Boyle. Why is he asking such a crazy question? Ishnei guvim gedusha achas. If his whole question is 2 bodies, here, go to this question. Shnei guvim gedusha achas. They're both called ashams, but they're 2 bodies. can I do Temurah on a second body? It's physically another animal. Maybe I could do Temurah on another animal. The line is kaper. Without the whole story that he got lost and he got found and there's a black sheep. Without a black sheep, there's no kapara. Ishte gdushois. Or, ask me this question. 2 gdushois in one animal. I have a asham that turned into oila. How? I designated an animal. That animal itself, I did Temurah on it. And then a minute later, he got lost. I brought a black sheep. I did my kapara. And then I found animal number 1. Forget about animal number 2. Animal number 1 was found. Animal number 1 turns into a oila. Could I make another Temurah on animal number 1? Does Rabbi Yochanan say I can't do Temurah on animal number 1 because it remained the asham? But today, he's Mr. Oila. He's a new concept. Maybe I could do Temurah on it. Why do I need a mum? And then just say the first one got lost. Says the Gemara, no. What happened was, you're right. Rebavin started off with this question. This was his question. You're right. Abai is right. He started off asking a simple question, and then he went to Imtim some Laimars. He said, if you're going to say it works, what about a worst case? Two bodies. It works. What about 2 bodies with 2 names? Okay, Taka built up. You're right. It's a very good point. Maybe two bodies that are called a asham, it doesn't work Temurah. You know why? Because I already used Temurah on the name asham. I can't do Temurah twice to one asham. In this case, I can't do. This is the simplest case, as we're going to see in the next lashon. This would be an easy case. The intim tzaloymar would be this one right over here, because I turned this animal into another animal, really. I turned him to oila. That's a little bit more deep. Maybe I could do Temurah on this. Because I already used up my asham Temurah, and I can't make... Misvar, it almost makes sense, Rabbi Yisrael. I mean, not almost, it makes a little bit sense to me. I did Temurah to what? I took a chulin animal and I said it should be just like my asham. Okay. And now that asham went into a second animal, and I want to make another chulin just like the asham, but I already used up my asham. Rabbi Yochanan says the asham used up. However, maybe I messed it up completely. So then he has to go on to the real good kasha of 2 bodies, 2 different names. It turned them from asham to oila. What's the halacha? Teiku. Lishnachrina, over here Rashi says Lishnachrina is Yerushalmi. He already said it once or twice already in the Masechta, I don't know how many times. And if you look at other Lishnachrinas, I noticed it does have like a Yerushalmi flavor to the wording. The words have a little bit of a Yerushalmi lashon. But anyways, over here he says specifically this lashon Nachrina is Yerushalmi. What? No. It's just now the thing with this lashon is that it is a little different than the first lashon. Not a lot, a little. That what? Basically, I'll just say outside that Reb Oven only asks 2 questions, this and this. He doesn't even ask the major question of 2 gufim. Okay? And the order that he asks the question is important to us because it's intim tzaloymar, so one is easier than the other. By Reb Oven, Reb Yochanan Amar Ein Mamirim v'Chayzer Mamirim. According to Reb Yochanan, that you can't do more than once. Hifresh Asham l'skaber boy. If he did asham to be miskaper, v'hemer boy v'human v'chil lo'yalacher, ma'al sheyachzer v'yomer, could you do on the second one? 2 bodies, this one. First he asked this question, the simplest question. 2 bodies, 1 name. Now he asks another question. What about this case that there's 1 animal with 2 names? It became a oila. Ma'al sheyachzer v'yomer, Amar Abaya. I need to understand which one is this problem. In other words, Abaya, and also I forgot to explain a little bit of more pshat. Abaya is asking, Rebbe knows which one is stronger and better. Let him just ask the one that's more important. Why is he asking 2 questions there? If there's an oila in one body, so why is he asking a question about two bodies and one name? He was asking in Timsa Loimar, if you have two bodies, you have to stick in the word acher, says the Shita. It makes a lot more sense now. If you have a second animal, even though you used it once, maybe you could. And then he says, you're still talking about Asham and an Asham. That's why what if he already got a kapara and therefore and the first one, the only animal here in this case, he became a oila. Maybe I could be able to do Temurah because now it's called the oila. Maybe I only say that since it turned into oila. But Akopanim in this Lashon, he doesn't ask the question, the bomb question of two bodies and two guf, because over here we would hold that of course you could do Temurah. It's so far removed, it's another animal and another name that I could do Temurah according to this Lashon of the Yerushalmi. On Rabbi Shua ben Levi. Now we have the same exact sugya, word for word. All we have to say is a slightly different case, and it's very easy, and it's the whole sugya all over again. Why? Here's the introduction. Hegdish Rishoin Moisav Chaimish. If you're an initial Hegdish and you redeem it, the way you redeem it is you take another animal, and let's say it has a mum, you take another animal and I replace it with a second animal. But I have to add a Chaimish, I have to add 25% or 20%, and that's it. Omra Papa Ve'ein Hegdish Sheni Moisav Chaimish. Hegdish Sheni, the secondary Hegdish. Meaning, the second guy in line, where is he? This guy is secondary. My Temurah, my number two. This is my number one. My main guy, I have to do a Chaimish. This is Temurah. Temurah is already weaker. It comes from the Kedusha of this guy.
Not Temurah,
It's not Lav Davka. Pidyon and Temurah. Two things. I'm just giving you an example. Use this as a thing. You're right. It's not Lav Davka Temurah. I'm saying we're talking about a case of Pidyon. I'm saying even Temurah. Fine. My time the Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi Omakro v'mamagdish yigdalis beisoy v'yosav chamishis hamagdish v'loy hamatfis. Not on the second guy, only on the first guy. Oh, and here comes the sugi. Boy Revavan, hifrish asham l'skaper boy. Let's take out this thing. Okay, you have asham. Step number one. Vuhumam. You got a mum. So skip the second step, go to numbers. I didn't want to print the whole thing over. It doesn't, you could understand it from here, very simple. He got a mum. So, v'hoisif olav chaimish. So he added a chaimish v'chil l'chaveroi. And then he made this guy instead of the number one. V'niskaper b'asham acher v'nitek zeloila. And then he got lost. Same case. He gets lost. I use the black sheep. I find number two. Number two becomes a oila. Now I want to redeem Mr. 2. Maybe he's not secondary. Maybe he's his own chashivas. He's his own animal, his own carbon that requires a chaimish because he's oila. Now he's a oila. He's not an asham anymore. If he was an asham, he's a secondary asham. But he's a original oila. An original oila, you have to pay a chaimish. Why doesn't he ask simpler? Just say one case, say the case of two animals, and it has the same kedusha, or say a case of one animal with two kedushas. Why do you have to go to three different animals and it got lost and it got found? You're right. He started off asking a simple question and he built it up Tim Tzaloimar. In Tim Tzaloimar, Shnei Gufim Kedusha Achas Loi, Mishum Davi Kedusha Yitaisa B'Chadazim No Chomesh. He already did the Chomesh, Shnei Gufim, Shnei Kedusha Smai Teiku. L'shnach Rina, Boyre Be'oven, Hifrish Osham L'skaper Boy. It's the same, right? I could go faster because we learned this word for word before. Hifrish Osham L'skaper Boy V'humam V'chil L'acha V'hoisav Chomesh. Only one case, or the second case. So Rebovin actually asked, not the complicated case, he only asked the simple case of two bodies, and then he says, Niskabru ba'osham echad, case number 2. Acher, sorry, v'nita gzela oila, and the first one, only one body, but it became a second name, Ma'osh Yosef alav choymesh, Omar Baya, hodin kome boyle, igdusha acheres boise guf kome boyle, loine boyle humam. What is he asking? He should just ask one of the two. Either he should ask, is a second body enough to do a chomesh, or you should ask, is the second name enough to do a chomesh? Igu v'yisach kedusha, v'chol ha'mash yisach chomesh, mi'amrinu b'ashem kama, the moisef, abu guf acher, afagav the kohen b'yisach kedusha, ein moisef chomesh, oi dilma, kol oisach kedusha, ein moisef chomesh, v'im timtzaloi mar hodin guf echad, kivin the oisach kedusha, kohen moisef chomesh, el eskabe b'acher, v'nitek zelo oila ma'u, Ki moisav chomesh boisag guf boisag kedusha v'kedusha acheres loy. Oidilma kivin the oisag guf who moisav chomesh teiko. Have a wonderful day. You're laughing. I just did this also again without explaining it. We have pictures. Ayin on WhatsApp. You'll understand the whole thing.